Hi friends, happy Friday. You have officially survived week 1 of your break. I know it was really tough for you guys to stay home and learn, but I'm sure you're enjoying it. Week 1 is done. Start week 2 next week. I'll be available same way next week, same hours, okay? Alright, today I'm looking at worksheet number 2 in your packet. The front of it says the apprentice system. I know it's backwards, but the apprentice system, and then the back says, is it a fact or an opinion? Alright, starting on page 1, the apprentice system, make sure you put your name on it. If you look underneath the title, it says cross-curricular focus, history, and social sciences. So, we're reading about history and social studies, okay? I'm going to start reading the passage, read along with me. European colonists left behind all the comforts of home to come to North America. There was no longer a corner store where they could shop for groceries or get a newspaper. If their tools or equipment broke, there was no place to buy new ones. This was a harsh reality in a world where they had to fight for their own survival. More settlers came to the English colonies than to the French or Spanish colonies. When the settlers arrived, they were ready to work hard for themselves and their community members. They had to help each other or they would surely die. Families up to that point were mostly self-sufficient. All of the family members helped each other get what they needed. In the colonies, they had to reinvent some of the family-style teamwork and join together for the good of the entire group. It was not long before people began to take on new work responsibilities. Those who knew how to make things by hand were called artisans. Their work on things such as nails, horseshoes, barrels, and even homes was critical to the success of their colony. Because their skilled work was so necessary, they began to train younger workers. They needed others who could take over their duties if death, disease, or old age made them unable to continue. Artisans also often had several such helpers of different ages. These helpers were called apprentices. Apprentices were commonly be sent to live with artisan. That should say, apprentices would commonly be sent to live with artisan. The young apprentices provided their labor in exchange for food, shelter, clothing, and training in the craft. Experienced apprentices became artisans and took apprentices of their own to train. In this way, the colony would have skilled workers long into the future. Okay, so we've finished reading the passage. What do we do next? Annotate, okay? So go ahead and number your paragraphs. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? And remember, we're looking for words that are bolded. Words that are bolded usually let us know that there's a word that we need to know. It bolds the vocabulary word and then gives us the definition somewhere in the text. So, looking at paragraph 1, I don't see any. Paragraph 2, I don't see any. Paragraph 3, I see a couple. The first one I see is the word artisans. So, go ahead and circle the word artisans. And then we're going to underline what an artisan is. So, I want you to look in that sentence and see if you can figure out what an artisan is. Did you figure it out? So, an artisan is someone who knew how to make things by hand. It's literally that whole sentence where the word artisan is. Someone who knew how to make things by hand. Okay? And it says that they could make all kinds of different things to help the colony be successful. The next word we see bolded is at the very end of paragraph 3, called apprentices. Apprentices, all right? We're going to go ahead and circle that word. And I want you to underline what you think an apprentice is based on the details from the text. Alright, so this one's we're going to have to underline a couple different sentences to really understand what an apprentice is. So if you look up about halfway through paragraph 3, it says, because their skilled work was so necessary, they began to train younger workers. Okay? Younger workers is the first 2 words in that sentence. Or look where younger workers is. It's the first 2 words in that specific sentence. Okay? I want you to underline younger workers. They needed other workers who could take over their duties if death, disease, or old age made them unable to continue. And then I want you to underline artisans also had several such helpers of different ages, okay? There's a lot of information there, but we can understand that apprentices are younger workers that train to take over artisan's job in case of death, disease, or old age, okay? Perfect. Perfect example that your definition won't always be in the same sentence as the word given. All right, those are the only two bolded words I see. If you want to annotate something else in the passage, you're more than welcome to. But I'm going to move on to the questions. Okay, starting with the questions, I want to read the directions first. Answer the following questions based on the reading passage. Don't forget to go back in the passage wherever or whenever necessary to find or confirm your answers. So, you got to look back in the text to prove the truth, okay? Number 1, most apprentices were between 8 and 10 years old when they went to live with an artisan. How would you feel about becoming an apprentice now? Why? So, you don't really even have to go back and look in the text for this question. This is asking your opinion, okay? If you're talking about your opinion, you're allowed to use the word I, me, and my, okay? You're allowed to use those first-person pronouns. So, for number 1, you're giving your opinion right here. If you don't have enough room, bring it down here and do it in this blank space, okay? You could do a couple sentences on that question. Totally up to you. You need to make sure it's a complete sentence, though. I would want to be an apprentice because, or I would not want to be an apprentice because, fill in your answer, period at the end, capital letter at the beginning, okay? Number 2 says, what is an artisan? What is an artisan? How would we set up our answer? An artisan is, fill in the blank. You have to have a capital letter at the beginning, period at the end, okay? That one should be very easy because that's one of the ones we annotated from the text. Number 3 says, what did an apprentice receive in exchange for his labor? What did an apprentice receive in exchange for his labor? So, because he was giving his work, he received something in exchange for his work. Excuse me. So, what did he receive in exchange for his work? Now, that's not something we annotated in the text, but that's something we did read about. So you should be able to go back and find it now and annotate it now to help you answer that question. So if it says, what did an apprentice receive in exchange for his labor? We would set up our answer by saying, an apprentice received blank, and then you'd fill in what he received, in exchange for his labor, period. Capital letter at the beginning, punctuation at the end, okay? That one's a little bit different. Usually you're just filling in the end of the answer. That one you're just kind of putting information right in the middle. Number 4 says, what was the goal for an apprentice? What was the goal for an apprentice? Why did the apprentice do whatever he was doing? Okay? How would we set up our answer choice? Or our answer? We would say the goal for an apprentice was, and then you fill in the end. Capital letter at the beginning, punctuation at the end. This should be getting really easy, guys. As long as you're looking back in the text and as long as you're making it a complete thought. Easy peasy. Number 5 says, how did the apprentice system help the community? All right, so we know apprentices were needed in case an artisan died of disease, old age, sickness, whatever. So why did we need the apprentice system? We would set up our answer by saying the apprentice system helped the community by, and then fill in your answer choice. What 2 things do you need? Capital letter and punctuation at the end, okay? 5 easy questions today. Only one of them you're giving your opinion, and that's the first one. So, for the first answer, you're allowed to use first-person pronouns, which are I, me, and my. Everything else is objective, meaning it's coming, it's not asking your opinion, it's coming directly from the text. So, for 2, 3, 4, and 5, you need to be looking back in the text for your answers, okay? Make sure you annotate. You are underlining important ideas, circling unknown words, highlighting something you might think is important. You're going to number your paragraphs, and any other things that you see might need to be annotated, you can absolutely do that in the text, okay? All right, guys, let me know if you have any questions. Have a great weekend. Okay, friends, I totally forgot it was back to the worksheet. So, looking at the back of that worksheet, it says, is it a fact or an opinion? This one should be pretty easy. We've covered fact and opinion a lot. So, the directions say, excuse me, a fact is something that is true and can be proven. Remember, fact, we can prove it true or false. It doesn't have to be true always. An opinion is what a person thinks or feels or believes. Read each sentence below. Write fact in the blank if it is a fact. Write opinion in the blank if it is an opinion. All right, so the words are spelled for you at the top. So yes, you have to write them out all the way. You can't just put F or O. Don't be lazy. Put fact or an opinion. So number 1 says blue is the prettiest color. 2, Sarah went to the store on Monday. 3, a camel is a mammal. 4, spinach tastes great. 5, everyone should go to the movies on Friday. 6, Teresa's dog is a poodle. 7, bears are very interesting. 8, Jake is the best baseball player. 9, George Washington was the first president of the United States. 10, picnics are better in the summer. 11, soccer is a dumb game. I hope you don't think that. Just kidding. 12, the earth has a north and south pole. 13, cheetahs can run faster than horses. 14, George Washington was the greatest president of the United States. 15, red shoes are better than white shoes. 16, Tuesday comes after Monday. Number 17, spiders are creepy. 18, January is the worst month of the year. It's really not, because that's my birthday month. 19, dogs have a better sense of smell than humans. And number 20, Halloween is in October. Remember, while you're filling out fact and opinion, that fact has to be able to be proven. It doesn't have to be proven true. If you can prove it false, it's still a fact. Opinion is something someone thinks, feels, or believes. Okay? So, when we're talking about thinks, feels, or believes, that would be an opinion, something someone can disagree with and not agree with, okay? Fact is something you can prove true or false. Don't forget that, okay? If you guys have any questions, let me know.